Hi everybody, it's Christina and thank you for joining me. So today I'm here with the Simply Christmas collection, and this is part of the Christmas in July promotion that's going with Crafstash. So in this collection there are two 6x6 dies, there are two 5x7 dies, and there are two stencils. This one matches this fireplace and this one will go with anything. So it's this one and this one that we're going to use today. Now this is a 6x6 die, but I'm going to use it on a DL. So this is 4 inches by 8 inches, and I've cut a panel that's just slightly smaller that will sit on the front. This one is just the stencil, and for this I'm going to use an A2 card, and again I've created a panel that will just go on the front. So both of these cards are very easy to make, but I'm going to start with the A2 one, and I'm using the little panel that goes on the front. So for this front panel I'm going to do some stenciling. Now to make sure that my paper doesn't move around, I'm going to add it to a sticky mat, and that will also keep my stencil in place as well. And then to make sure that they don't move, I'm just going to pop these inside my stamping platform, and now that can't move anywhere. So now I need some small brushes and some colours, and just to make sure that I don't stencil pieces that I don't want, I'm just covering these areas over with some sticky tape, and this is just low tack tape, but I don't want these little lights that are on the ends, and I don't want these at the bottom. So we'll just cover them over, and now we can't get those in the way. So I've got some finger daubers here, and I'm just going to use these with some colours to add in my lights. So I'm going to start with the finger dauber and some broken china, and I'm just going to add these lights in random areas. And then once I've done that, I can choose another finger dauber and another colour and add that in somewhere else. And I'm going to continue until all that is coloured. So once I've put the colours onto the lights, I'm just going to clean off the stencil with some kitchen roll, and then I'm going to use a black fine liner to pick out the string lights. And now once I've done all that and I've taken the stencil off, this is what I have left. So I can now take this off my sticky mat, and there's my panel now ready for my card. So I can trim this down just to equalise that into the centre of the panel. So I've trimmed my panel down, but I'm also going to add it onto a piece of holographic card, and that's just red squares on it. So that's going to sit on there. And then from the other collections that are available with Card Making Magic, you have lots of words. So that one says Joy to the World, that one says Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Wishing you a Christmas full of magic. There's lots of different ones in there. That's Happy New Year, Season's Greetings and Merry Christmas. And it's the Merry Christmas one that I'm going to use. And I'm also going to cut this from the red holographic card. So there's my Merry Christmas cut out from my red card, and that's going to sit along the bottom. So let's just put that way around. No, I prefer it the other way around. Now to stick that to my card, I have copied a little tip that Lou came out with, and that was to get a sealed container, put a sponge in the bottom, put your favourite glue in it and then just add your word sentiment to the glue, and that's now full of glue and will not mess up my card. So we can add that to the bottom of the card there. We can add this to this sheet there. We can add that to the card there, and then when we've done all that, we can add some glossy accents to the bulbs just to make them glow a little bit more. So there's my sentiment stuck in place with my glue pad. So thanks for that hot glue, it was very useful. And to add some interest to the bulbs, I'm going to use some accent glaze, and this is from Made to Surprise. So thanks for this, Sam. So I've given this a little bit of a shake, and I'm just going to make sure that it comes out nice and easy before I start to add it to my bulbs. So there's a very quick and easy Christmas card. Leave the accent glaze on one side to dry so that you don't smudge it, and you can always mass produce that card. It's very quick with the stencil. So that's all we've used: some stencils, some inks, some finger daubers, some glossy, some accent glaze, and that's been it. Quick and easy card to make. So now let's make the other one. So for this next card I'm doing a DL. I have a white panel that will sit on the front, but I'm going to reduce that even more because in there I want to add some green and some red. So all I'm doing is placing this on the card base with just a small border around the edge, and I'm making marks, and I'm going to trim it on those marks. And then once I have that cut, I'm going to repeat the process with the red one. Leave two borders around the edge, make my marks just in from the bottom and the side, and I'm going to cut that, and then I'll do that on this one with the same card, with the same process. Now at the moment my trimmer's not cutting properly because it needs a new blade, but I've got a little sanding block here. So all I'm doing is just sanding off those fuzzy edges, and that will just give a nice neat finish to my card. So that will sit there, and then we'll do the same with this. So once I've trimmed that down, I'm going to pop this into a folder that is also from Card Making Magic, and this is one that was brought out last year or maybe the year before. This was also part of a Christmas collection. So I'm just going to emboss that in the machine. And once that's been embossed, that is the pattern that I have in my card. So they can all now be lined up and added to the base. Now for this one, all I want really are the letters. So I'm just going to cut down some card, some red card that will fit over these letters. So I want these letters in red. So I've just cut down some card that will fit over the letters in the die. I'm just going to tape those down so that they can't move, and then we can just add those to the die cutting machine. So once I've got those taped in place and they cover the letters, I can put that through the die cutting machine. So once you've die cut those, you're going to need to trim them out of the other pieces to the die very neatly, and then they are ready to add to your card. But we're going to add some foam behind these before we do that. So I have my letters cut and I've added my foam tape to the back, and they're ready now to add to my card. So I'm going to just glue these in place, and then we can add the letters in either portrait or landscape. So we'll leave just a small border around the edges. We'll do the same with the red one. We'll add the embossed panel just for more interest. That's on there. Now we can either add the letters in this way around, or we can add them in that way around. It's entirely up to you. You can put them all straight, or you can add them all skewy withy. So I'm going to add mine in landscape, and to make sure that my letters are equally spaced, I'm going to add the first and last letters in before I add the others. So we'll just add these in to the beginning and the end of the word. And now we can add the others in at nicely equal intervals into the card. So the word is Noel, so we'll add it along here. And we'll make that one not quite as much at an angle. So we'll put that one that way. We'll have you in there. There we go. And now we can dress that up further with some sequins or another sentiment. And this is one that is done using the same embossing folders, the same letters, but just done in a different angle. Now if you're new to the Card Making Magic collections, you will need to know that all my dies will work with other dies. And so this is the oval poinsettia, and this is from the Portals collection. So I've taken the dies that cut the poinsettias out. I'm going to glue these together. So I've just added some very light ink into them. I've glued those together. I'm going to put those in the O. I've got some of the sprigs that go around the side, which is this one, and I've got some holly leaves, and I'm going to push these into the display just to make it look even more festive. So I shall go away and glue those in place, and then I'll come back to you when I've done it. So there's everything popped in place, but just to finish this off, I found some white pearls, and I'm just using an alcohol marker to colour these red, and these are going to be the berries for my little holly sprigs. So we'll give them a second or two just to dry. And then with some tweezers, I'm going to pull them off the little sheet and add them to my holly. So we'll add 3 berries to these big pieces of holly sprigs. Now if you don't feel happy with them, you can always add a little bit of extra glue to these just to make sure that they stick in place. And then for the centre of the poinsettia, I'm going to do some more. So I think we might just add about 5 to that one. We'll put one in the middle, and we'll put the rest along the outside. We might just need another one as well. Yep, we'll add another one in there as well. So we'll just colour one more. There we are. And that's my Christmas card finished and ready to send. So to create these two cards, I've used the Stencil and the Noel from the Simply Christmas collection that will be launched in July. I've also added in the embossing folder. I've used the Merry Christmas on this card, and I've used the poinsettias from the Portals collection on this card. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one. And why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.